Hi, this is Friday, January 24th, uh, a day, 2020, a day to celebrate life, a day to be very grateful for the president we have. The first time a president has spoken to the March for Life was today, and President Clinton came out in person. They had a acrylic screen that he could stand behind. And do you know he came out from behind that screen to the right, to the left, and back again to the right, to his right? It'd be our left, left, right, left for us. I was so proud of him for doing that. You know, these people who say that he's in it for himself, Schiff saying something like that he's only in it for himself, is such a lie. He loves the people. He ended his speech today by saying, I love you all. I love you all. He gave a wonderful speech talking about life. He acknowledged God. He acknowledged the Bible. He acknowledged the importance of life for all. I was so impressed by the speech he gave. I didn't go today because you know what I'm busy trying to take care of here at home. So I did not dare spare the time to go. But I did listen to him live. And I was there 2 years ago. Last year, President Trump spoke from the White House, and they did it by closed circuit TV. 2 years ago, I was there. I went with Pastor Ernie Sanders, and Mike Pence spoke, and we were, anyhow, I was far away when he spoke. His car headed back to the White House. You know, we were at the corner for the march just as he drove by, so that was kind of fun to be able to see him a little closer. But I don't get all excited about that. It's really, I don't, boasting rights on things like that really don't mean a whole lot to me. So I know you guys are all curious what's happening with our dear friend Larry. He will not be with us today. Ellie, who does Investigators News, it's plural, both words, Investigators News. She's doing an interesting program tonight on fake media. She went over, she lives in Conway, she went over to the house, and Larry has been, the flu hit her, his wife, and then hit him on Tuesday. And she has seems to have recovered from what Ellie could see. He has not, because, you know, in his weakened condition, it's hit him very hard. So he's still trying to get this virus out of his system. His body's fighting, and he is still very much breathing and hanging in there. Thanks, Val, for saying the president's Davos speech was the best ever. I'm sure yes, he's very good about those hidden clues for people. Anyhow, back to Larry. His wife was smiling and didn't look like she was sick anymore. And anyhow, Ellie had a very brief conversation and just wanted to pass on to us that he's very much alive and eager to get back in the fight, I'm sure. But he hasn't been able to pick up the phone and call anybody because he's just needing to concentrate on getting better. So that is a wonderful thing. And I'm glad to be able to get that message and to be able to pass it on to everybody. So if anybody wants to join us tonight, if anybody wants, for example, an update, I need to make sure I have your cell phone number so I can give a text. No, he's sleeping, Jeff. Thank you. He's not watching. He's sleeping. You know, it was unusual not to get a call. I know when a lot of times on weekends, I have not gotten calls from him. And when he's been very, very busy, usually when, you know, with the work he's been doing, if they took a break, he would just give me a quick 30-second call. And or if he needed, funds for his next treatment or something and didn't have enough. So anyhow, his wife has recovered, so that's a good thing. And if his body's still fighting this, then it's I got to tell you, this guy's body and what he has overcome just boggles my mind. He has, years ago, he battled anthrax and survived. He has battled ricin and survived twice 2 years ago. The things that guy has gone through. So, Gloria, I'm so glad to see. I wanted to see what Rudy Giuliani had to say. If you've got a link that you could text me or drop it in here, I'd appreciate that, because I saw Rudy Giuliani on Fox and Friends this morning saying that he would do some kind of press conference at noon to talk about all the stuff he has on Biden. I didn't hear anything much this morning that I didn't already know, but sometimes it's said in a little different way. So whose channel are you going to subscribe to, Val? And I agree with what you guys are saying about Trump's speech today. Can the Supreme Court order Congress or senators to remain silent? No, that's not how it works. There's separation of powers. So no, as far as I know from what I've learned, and I'm not. Don't take it from me as definitive. I think no. But thanks for bringing up Rudy Giuliani. He mentioned something this morning on Fox and Friends, that here's Biden telling them to call off the investigation of Burisma, and then letting his son become part of the Burisma Corporation. And Rudy Giuliani said that was the most corrupt corporation in the whole country of Ukraine. And of course, remember what Larry tells us. I've heard that name, XRP, but I can't remember right now what it is. Burisma, the most corrupt corporation. And there's, Kerry's stepson and Biden's son all involved in this, and raking $50,000 to $83,000 a month, right after he'd been kicked out of the army for drugs. So, or the military, I don't know which branch he was serving in. Yes, a podcast. I'm not sure how you find that, Kim. If you know, let me know. You can either text this to me or put it in the chat for everybody. And I got something from Trump Train News, naval officer. That's right. Thank you. I knew when I said Army, it was wrong. And I agree, Gloria. If there have been no crimes, then this case should be dismissed. Oh, and what I started to say, remember what Larry says. First of all, the Democrats always lie. Most of the Republicans do too. But second of all, listen to what they say. What they accuse of, they are revealing about what they themselves have done. And, if you heard Rudy Giuliani this morning on Fox and Friends, talking about the things that he even admitted. He said, they're accusing the president of what they have done. And the reason they can go into such incredible minutia of detail on their accusations is because they've done it. So they know exactly what those things are. And of course, they just assume that it's human nature to assume everybody's like you and does what you do. That's typical. So we shouldn't be surprised. But on the other hand, the kinds of heinous accusations they're making against our president, and they didn't want him because he wasn't one of them. Well, he wasn't one of them, even though, he's seemed to me that he had done a lot of dirty dealings, Trump had, in his business. But, that's kind of the nature of the game. And when you're playing the game, sometimes you don't consider it dirty. It's just par for the course. So starting tomorrow, the Republicans will be doing their response. Oh, the other thing I was going to say about the Democrats, Trump Train News this morning came out. I got an email, and they said that the Democrats have gotten some shocking news at how few people have been watching the impeachment hearings. I mean, I just couldn't. I could have listened while I was doing things, but I needed to be able to concentrate and do a good job on what I was doing. And the last thing I needed was to be riled up emotionally and angry. And, there's just no way you do a good job at what you're doing when you're upset. So, what did Trump said this morning? The fact that they're starting on Saturday. Oh, I can't remember what his tweet said Saturday is. It was kind of funny. I suppose he meant, nobody's going to be paying attention. But, I pray that there will be a lot of people listening tomorrow. And Ellie said that from what she's gathering with her show and the feedback she's getting, it seems like the tide is turning for him. And it seems like people are getting really frustrated over impeach, enough already. Let this, and Lindsey Graham gave a press conference today, and he said, I think we need to let the voters make a decision about whether our president stays or goes. And I appreciate that. Now, if anybody lives in South Carolina, please get involved in the campaign for any Republican running against Lindsey Graham. We do not need him with 6 more years thinking he can do and vote whatever way he wants and not support our president. No, he is at least reading the writing on the wall that our president is very popular and continuing to grow in popularity, and he better hang on to his coattails if he hopes to win office again. But, we do need a Republican in office, and Larry did say better to have an incumbent Republican than switching to a Democrat. So, and the same goes for McConnell in Kentucky. Yeah, I watched that, Rudy, on Fox and Friends this morning, and he announced that he was going to do a podcast at noon, but I didn't know how to see his podcast, and I've been kind of busy through today. Anyhow, if anybody backtrack, the Republicans are doing their rebuttal tomorrow, Saturday, and then Monday and Tuesday. And then they're going to have some kind of vote. I wish we had marching orders from Larry, because I know it's a crucial time to be doing something. And he is, he was sick as a dog the day that Trump was inaugurated, and he didn't get to see it. After all the work he personally had done to help the man win the White House. And then he couldn't, and then he was too sick. He couldn't watch it. And now here we are, you got the impeachment going on, and he's too sick to be able to see much of anything because he's asleep. So if you want an update when I get any more news, make sure I have both your name and your cell phone. Don't just give me your cell phone number. Make sure I have your name. I'm posting right now, again, my cell phone, and the second number is the conference call number for tonight. The 712 is the conference call. We're going to have another time of prayer tonight at 9. That's 8 Central. Pelosi's son's involved in all of this, and was it Hunter Biden who also, I read something this morning about getting some huge number of money from China. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not gonna say anything with any confidence right now because I don't have the information to be running my mouth about stuff. But we know there is a tremendous amount of corruption. And, we've learned, we can see what's going on, that foreign aid is all about taking our taxpayer dollars and putting most of it in our politicians' pockets. Because in order to vote for this aid, they get huge kickbacks, and they then the government leaders in the foreign country take a big cut, and then there's hardly anything left for what we assigned the aid in the first place. So it's pretty ridiculous. I know Pelosi's son has dealings with both countries as well. At least I've heard and read that. So I'm going to call it quits at this point and just say Larry's facing the weekend. He did have money that came in. I don't know if he has anything left for the weekend or not. Ellie was able to tell his wife to make sure that he knew money had come in to help him. And so I don't know if all the money, there was some money that was sent through PayPal for Larry, sent to me through PayPal, and that's all, 100% of that has been passed on to him. So I don't know if he has checked into that and been able to pay for whatever is being done. I don't know, folks. I just don't know. Ellie went by herself, and I wish I had thought to say, hand the phone to somebody and let me talk to him, and I could have asked some other questions. But anyhow, if we just search for Rudy Giuliani, we should be able to see his podcast on YouTube. Thank you, Kim. I'll be able to do that when we're done here. So just a few special notes. Larry's CD, In My Life. He's got beautiful ballads that he sings, and he plays the guitar himself. It's professionally recorded in a professional studio, and they've dropped the price from $19.95 to $12.95 today. So if you would like to get a copy, it's on sale right now. So I'd suggest you do that because I know Mark needs to be paid back for what he spent to produce it, to make copies and produce it again so that we could have it. And I don't know how much of a cut Larry gets. Larry certainly gets some of it. So that's $12.95. The T-shirts. But here's the back, and also on the front. I found out yesterday that we can get it in a long sleeve T-shirt. It will be a little more money. So if you are interested in a long sleeve version, send a text to me. I will post that number again. I'm going to post both my cell phone number and the conference call number. So that's what the two numbers are. If you want a long sleeve T-shirt, send me a text message. I will find out from Mark, what it's going to cost to do that, because he didn't know. He said it would be a little more, but he didn't know what it would be, and so he needs to find out. And then also, if you're interested in the Never Socialism bumper sticker or the 28 Years to Nowhere, those are all on nicholslive.com under the merchandise page. The donate page at nicholslive.com has a direct link to Larry's PayPal, which is scrolled across the screen here. His PayPal is nicholslive@aol.com. His address for cash in the mail only is 58 Kensington Drive, Conway, Arkansas, 72034. I'll say it again. 58 Kensington Drive, Conway, Arkansas, which is AR 72034. If you want to send a check, that has to go through me. If you want to use Western Union or Zelle or any other possibility, that goes through me. You can use your credit card on the merchandise page to pay for your t-shirt or the book or the bumper sticker, or the CD, Larry's CD. There is, in the description box below here, there is the link to the YouTube where there's a demo of his CD. So you can click on the link, or whether it's just, I don't know if it's actually hyperlinked or not. But Edward Mason, I hope you're right that there won't be any more votes after the senator's question. I think that'd be great. Colleen, I'm sorry, if you can text it to me, I'd appreciate that. I'd like to be able to watch it while I'm painting, getting ready to go do some more. So that's it for now. Tonight at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, we will have another time of prayer for Larry to recover. I feel so badly that he's not able to be watching, and because he's sleeping. But he is, a pretty sick puppy with this flu that he's got. And, we need to be praying for our country's safety, for people who are traveling, and this whole issue with the coronavirus. There's a lot of stuff being said. There's a lot of conspiracy theory connected around it. And I will say conspiracy, not knowing if it's conspiracy or not. I know there are people who will call it that. So that's it. I'm going to get back to my paintbrush, and thank you guys. Now, keep an eye on YouTube. If there's any update or anything, I would rather send text messages and just let people know. I'll write one and then just copy it to everybody. It takes me a while to get those done because I've got a lot of people to do it that way. If necessary, I will come back on and do a show over the weekend if we need it, especially if he gets well enough to say, make calls, then I will certainly be here to say what to do. Keep calling Mitch McConnell's office. I know we can't get through except to some of the Kentucky locations. Now in Chicago, goodness, it's getting closer and closer. Texas and Chicago starting to surround Larry. So I just hope that's not the virus that he's got. But his wife recovered, so she's doing fine and she looks good. And so, she got it a day before Larry. And in his weakened immune system, I'm sure it's going to slow his recovery down, especially since he's just been running such a ridiculously high fever for so long. That didn't stop him. This man just doesn't stop. He's like the regular Energizer bunny. So, be much in prayer for our country. Be much in prayer for our Republican response, the Trump team and their response Saturday. When I heard Lindsey Graham, I was speaking today, I thought, wow, I wonder how much of this was Larry's doing, that he would say the things he did, and that he, both in being motivated to say what he did, being motivated to support the president, and the actual words that he used. I know Larry did an awful lot of writing to help people with what needed to be said, and I have no idea who he helped. I have no idea, okay, folks? I just really do not know. I just know somebody had asked him to write something, and he had done that, and it seems to me some of what he had written has been used. So be listening for it. We've got a fearless leader who definitely wants to be back out front. So, Julie, Lindsay being red-pilled, I would say not. What I would say is this is a political move of expediency to help keep his seat. And he recognizes that he needs to support the president if he wants to stay in office. And he wants to keep his job because of all the money he gets from the military-industrial complex, is what I've been told. Obviously, when I'm telling something that I've been told, I don't have the proof. And so I am telling you that I've been told that. And so it's something you have to take with a grain of salt from me until you hear it straight from the horse's mouth. But that's what I've been told. So with that, I will say have a blessed weekend. And thanks, Kim. And I have my sound off, so I didn't realize. Be on the call tonight if you want to pray with us. And God bless you. Thanks for being here. Bye.